Hello. Why do we always have bloopers? Okay, so we're trying to adjust the Facebook camera. Probably a little too close. Should have looked into that a little bit more in depth.
Okay.
That's better? Okay. Well, at least it's okay. All right. Hi. Welcome back to another edition of Elephants in the Room.
Yes.
And we're going to talk about spiritual prosperity this week.
Yeah.
And we're going to start by doing a prayer.
Yes. Father God, in the name of Jesus, we just come to you, Lord God, as humble as we know how, Lord God, just to say thank you, Lord God, for understanding, Lord God. Thank you for discernment, Lord God. Thank you for peace, Lord God. Thank you for joy, Lord God. Thank you, Lord God, for all that it is that you do for us, Lord God. Thank you for everything you've already done and everything that's on the way to us, Father God. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Amen. I promise you, I'm very thankful, okay?
Woo!
For all the experiences.
Everything.
Everything.
Good, the bad, the ugly.
Because the bad ain't really bad.
Man, listen.
The bad, it's more so of not being bad, but more so of a lesson, you know?
Yeah.
And I know one thing. I always go according to your intuition.
Listen.
Okay?
Listen. Sometimes you just got to humble yourself and fall flat to your face. and literally, cry out to God and ask Him for whatever it is that you're needing at that moment. Because once you realize that, there's no escape from God because He is our everything, that's when you will realize that prosperity, like that's when you'll realize, okay, this is deeper than the surface. This is more than financial. This is more than wealth. This is happiness. This is wholeness. This is healing. Like it's a beautiful place to be. I promise you that.
It really is. But in reality, spiritual prosperity does not deal with any type of material aspects in this world. Spiritual prosperity is all about the inner you, your inner being, your spirit, your soul. Just your spirit and your soul is thriving, then you are definitely experiencing spiritual prosperity. So it's beautiful in itself because you don't get caught up and focused on the things that's going on in this world.
Fact.
You don't get caught up and focused on what other people are doing
Fact.
and what they're not doing. But you're more so caught up on who you are as an individual, what you have to offer, what you can do, and how you're bettering yourself.
Exactly.
And most importantly, your connection with God.
Yeah. And when you start to forget about that connection, you're so focused on these material things, He will take everything away from you so that you can realize, okay, I am nothing without you. I have nothing without you. Like, you literally are my everything. Like, whew, it just gave me chills just to think about it because, just being at a place in my life where I felt like I was at my lowest and I didn't know how I had gotten there. It was just like I had no other choice but to lean on Him, but to trust in Him, but to dwell with Him, but to beg and cry out to Him to help me in those moments that I just felt like I couldn't do it. I knew I couldn't do it by myself. I knew I needed that higher power. I knew that I needed God. You understand what I'm saying? And I realized I'm at that place in my life where I don't even want anything if it doesn't involve God. I don't want to be around any situations if it's not involving God. I need Him to dwell in the midst of it all. You understand what I'm saying? I'm at peace with knowing that God is always around me in every situation, and I know that He will never steer me wrong. And that's why I don't care what He take away from me, what I don't get that I feel that I want out of this life. It's like, if God isn't giving it to me, then I don't need it. I don't want it. Maybe it's not my time. When you have that understanding, it just makes life a lot easier.
Yes, definitely. I totally agree with that. Like, a lot of times when that job didn't work out, that relationship didn't work out. Even when you connect with a person in a particular time, it may be meant for that time. But in that time, a lot of times there are things that you have to learn. There are lessons that you have to learn. And what people don't realize is that a lot of times our connections with individuals, jobs, and things of that nature are really like cycles, karmic cycles, things that we have to learn from those particular situations, and like when you really think about it, God truly allows you to experience certain things. And, this may be far-fetched for some people simply because a lot of times people think that everything that is good is of God. But those things that are happening in your life that you may not think is good, that's God working in that too. But it's all according to your perception, because in reality, God will allow you to experience things so that you can seek Him in the process. Yeah. And a lot of people don't really understand that. Listen. You know what I'm saying? They don't really understand that. And I get it, because, I think we all was at that stage at one point in our life, like, well, if God is real, then why would He allow me to go through this? Right. If God is real, then why am I experiencing that?
Exactly.
You're experiencing that because you have to learn something. You're going through this because you have to dig deeper within yourself, identify who you are, seek God within you. You know what I'm saying? So, that's my take on it,
Yeah.
And connecting with nature,
Yeah.
Because every living organism is part of God. And a lot of people don't understand.
I saw this video, I can't remember the guy's name, but he said the way of life is God, universe, and nature. And I love that. I was like, I couldn't agree more. Like, I really couldn't agree more. Like, when you get in tune to those three things, you for sure will have that spiritual prosperity that, that I'm praying for you. Like, even if you're not wanting it, I'm praying for it for you because.
And praying that you receive it.
Yeah, facts. Like, seriously, because, it's not just about financial. Again, it's rather an ongoing state of success that touches every area of your life, your mind, your body, your soul, your relationships, even your finances, your jobs, whatever. Like, that's what it's all about to me, is us comprehending that, we went through what we went through for a greater cause and not because we're being punished. Like exactly. You said, people say, why would God allow me to do this, or you're not being punished. No. It's because you need to learn a lesson. It's because you may need to teach someone else. Someone may need to learn from your situations or your mistakes in life. So it's like, it's like you're paying it forward. Like, think of it as a blessing in disguise, and that's exactly what it is. And please don't think you're being punished. Like,
no, you're not.
All these bad things keep happening to me, and stop speaking like that, because then you're speaking into the universe and you're putting that out into the universe, and that's what's going to come back to you. So if you keep saying, "Oh my God, all these bad things keep happening, these bad things keep happening," it's not going to stop happening because that's what you keep speaking.
And another thing too, like, if you really stop looking at things as being bad things, then everything that does happen, you see good in it. Like, literally everything that happens, you see good in it. And I think that that's dealing with that spiritual growth. That's when you know you're thriving. When you can identify, even in the bad situation, that there is something good, you know you're thriving. When you go out there and just take it all in, accept people for who they are, let them be who they are. Even though we all experience those human moments, but when that being starts to be present and you learn and understand that the present is what really matters, that's when you snap out of it. So, yeah.
For sure. I feel spiritual prosperity provides us with a mindset that allows us to get through whatever. Like, say, like, listen, okay, I'm going through this right now. I just lost my job. I don't know how to pay my bills. But when you know who God is and you have that faith in God, you know that He's going to work everything out in your favor.
Exactly.
Because, listen, just have that faith. Just have that belief. Just have that faith of a mustard seed. and know, like, okay, God, I don't know what it is you're doing, but I trust you.
I don't know when it's gonna happen.
I don't know when it's gonna happen. I don't know how it's gonna happen.
I don't know how much longer I got to endure this,
but I trust you.
I trust the process because I trust you. And Lord, please allow me to see what it is I need to learn from this, because I don't want to go through this
again. Listen, please understand the power of prayer.
Yes.
Understand the power of prayer. Okay, like I said in the beginning of this show, humble yourself and fall to your face. Please. Okay, it's okay to cry out to God. You don't gotta cry on nobody else's shoulder. You feel like you just so big and bad. Don't ever feel like you just so big and bad with God. Don't ever feel like, oh God, I got this. I'm gonna handle this on my own. I'm gonna show you, cause he gonna show you, baby. Okay, trust me.
Another thing I want to add to that is resting in meditation. Mm-hmm. Resting in meditation. Mm-hmm. You know, I find that a lot of people have a problem with spending time by themselves, to themselves. You know, it's like they have to have
their own company.
Exactly. It's like they have to have something going on. They have to have something, just like
some type of
hearing
noise,
something, seeing something. It has to be something going on. And that's when you really need to take a step back from society and this world. Because when you just take that time and spend time with yourself and just rest with yourself, it will open up the light. The light will start to beam down. You know, it will literally open up, and the light will start to beam down, and you will be able to understand different aspects of your life. Now, don't get me wrong, it may not happen the very first, second, third, or fourth time that you meditate. But when you get to that place where you start to do that, and you're just at peace with you, and you release everything that's going on around you. There's no music playing. There's no people around talking. You're not looking at TV. You know, just remove yourself from the worldly aspect, and you can allow the inner you to rise up and become oneness with God. Like that's the reason why the word says prayer and meditation. That's the reason why the word says that. Okay? And some people will say an idle mind is the devil's playground. It can be if you allow it. Because in reality, what we have failed to realize is that even in our mental state, we really have control. It's just up to you whether or not you take control.
Facts.
It's a choice.
It really is.
That's the reason why God gives you choices. He doesn't force anything upon you. He gives you choices. You have the right to choose. So choose wisely today.
Yeah, for sure. Don't keep trying to just depend on you. It makes life harder to just go through it thinking, okay, I got to figure this all out on my own. No. You don't.
That's right.
You don't have to do that all on your own. That's not what he put us here for.
So when I say meditate, I'm not saying like she just said, figure it out on your own. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying spend time with yourself. You know? And as you all know, we here. DM us,
we are
comment,
here.
Whatever, and we have no problem with sharing our experiences with you all. And we love to hear what y'all got to say too.
We want to know.
I'm just saying.
We want to know because I know I've been at a place in my life where I was so angry at God where I felt like, okay, you know what? I'm just gonna figure this thing out on my own, God. I'm gonna become successful, and I'm gonna show you. And I remember like having these thoughts and these conversations with God, like literally. Yeah. I know everybody always saying just count on you, depend on you, pray to you, but I didn't get it. I felt like it wasn't necessary at a certain point in my life because of all the things that I was going through, and I just felt like I was being punished, and I felt like, okay, enough is enough. Like, when is this going to stop? When is this pain going to stop? And it's just like, now I get it. Now I understand the assignment and the spiritual prosperity that I have on my life and over my life is just amazing to me to be able to see, to be able to truly understand what it is that I'm doing here, to be able to understand my purpose, to be able to live with meaning, to be able to be intentional with everything that I do, with everything that I say, with every move that I make. It just makes life so much easier. I swear that the spiritual prosperity, it just makes you feel so good. Just being this glowing, you just glowing. Yeah. Oh, the more I heal, the more I glow.
Right, because that light that's on the inside, it starts to
it has no
break
choice.
Its way through.
It has no choice but
everybody
to
else
shine.
to be able to see.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Man, it gave me this boldness. Like, I swear, I don't know. Like, people were like, oh, I haven't always been like this.
So would you say that the boldness is the confidence?
Yeah.
Okay.
Facts for sure. Because like I think on the last episode I was saying how, I'm my worst critic, my biggest critic, and I would doubt myself. Like, girl,
you will talk yourself out of a lot of things.
Self-sabotage like a mug.
Yeah.
And
now
many
of us have experienced
right
that.
Now with that process, like, who gonna stop me?
Exactly.
Who, if God is for me, who could be against me?
If it doesn't work, then
it wasn't for me.
And not only was it not for me, but maybe it was something I learned from it.
Maybe it wasn't the time.
Exactly. Maybe I just go back and I try it again. Now that it really should have been done this way.
Exactly.
Okay, so I'm not gonna do that, but I'm gonna do this. All right, we'll try it again.
Facts. And stop trying to just be in control of everything, because I wanted to control every little thing. Okay, I want this done. I want to do this, and I want it done now. I want this done now. It's like I literally.
It's supposed to happen.
It's supposed to happen like this.
3, 4, 5.
Yeah, this is the way I planned it.
5 not supposed to happen first. No, I had it as 1, 2, 3, 4.
Listen, facts, like, for sure. When you get to that point where you're like, okay, God, I hear you. I see you. I know. Okay, I may have, I'll yield. I yield. I hear you out for sure. Like, I may have wanted things to go this way, but I see you had other plans. And when you just okay with him mixing some things up, it's that peace. It's just like, okay, I see why you wanted to do it that way. I see why it had to happen this way.
Yeah. Ooh. I remember when I did go through that. And I remember when I felt like this. Oh.
It makes it so easier to navigate through life. Like,
okay, so I need to go back to that place and identify what it was about that situation that made me feel the way I felt.
Man.
Got it. Then I had to go in and I had to do the inner work. I had to meditate. I had to do the inner work. When I do the inner work, it's like, okay, I realized I needed this and I needed that, and I didn't get it. Okay, all right. Then let me work on me as it relates to that.
Yeah.
All right.
Maybe I could have did this.
Okay, better. Now I try it again.
Yeah.
And then guess what? It worked.
That's just how amazing it is. Like, God is, period. Like, I brag and boast so heavily on God these days. It's like, and openly. Like, yesterday we did open mic, and if you guys heard our piece, it's very spiritual, and people are just like, wow, like, for you guys to be able to stand up there and just speak so proudly about it and so open about it, and it's just like, I'm just at my most vulnerable state, just thankful to God. Like, I don't care what it is that I'm telling you guys that I've been through. It's like, because I went through what I went through to teach nation. You understand what I'm saying?
And another thing too is that a lot of times, and we don't always know other people's story. So a lot of times when you tell your story, you're literally opening up the doorway for other people to deal with their story, and a lot of times people will bury those things that happen to them. A lot of times they try to act as though it never happened, and I think that when we do that particular piece, it really opens the door.
It does.
Now, prayerfully, they go and get the help that's needed.
Do that work.
Because that's the whole purpose of it. Because people don't realize that a lot of times child trauma can stop you from being a very productive adult.
Child trauma shapes us into the adults that we are.
And that's what I'm saying. It prevents us from being as productive as we can be.
Yep.
And it causes us to self-sabotage a lot of times. You know what I'm saying? Because, you just don't really know.
Yeah, you're holding on to all of that.
Hurt,
that pain,
damage, burden.
Yeah, broken.
Everything.
Yeah.
So when you learn that it's okay to speak out, because I believe that when you speak out, you are at that point breaking the cycle.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times when you think about past generations, they never spoke out.
They always keep it silent.
Exactly.
Don't share
Don't
it.
Tell nobody.
What happened in this house stays in this house.
Exactly. So that just really
But that's another thing is the more you speak out about things that has hurting you
and cause it to crack.
Yeah, it feels so good, to get it out. It's like you're releasing so much. And I just feel so light, y'all. Y'all don't understand. Just to not have that burden or that weight just on my shoulders. It's just I can breathe, I can move, I can think clear, I can see straight. I get it. I truly get it.
I'm gonna share a situation that I endured. I got a lot of them that I could really talk about, but I'm gonna share this one in particular. So I was in a relationship, and I stayed in the relationship because I wanted it to work. I wanted it to work for the sake of my children, simply because I was raised without my father, and lack of that fatherly figure is a lot of things that I did not know or did not have an expectation of when it came to a man. So we just kind of worked our way through it. You know what I'm saying? He didn't have his father in his life, so he's trying to figure out how to be a father. So we kind of tried to work our way through it until I realized by the comments of one of my children that basically what they're learning is not the way it's supposed to be.
Are you really helping or just hindering?
Exactly. Are you really helping?
Yo, y'all don't even understand. We breaking this poem down.
We really brought everything together. Every aspect of our life that we experienced, and we just put it in one piece.
In 30 minutes.
So, and I had to learn that this is not the best way to go about this, because even though I'm trying to stop one thing from manifesting, I'm creating another issue.
Whole different issue.
You know what I'm saying? So I was like, hold on, wait.
That's trying to continue cycles.
But it was breaking that cycle, but starting a new
cycle. Yeah. Yeah.
And when it was brought to my attention,
an unhealthy one.
Exactly. I'm like, hold on, wait a minute. You know what? Let's just cut this thing short.
Yeah.
Let's just end it.
Yeah.
It's not working.
It's not working.
It's not working. It's not worth it. It's not working.
Yeah.
We just need to just
step back and move forward.
We need to break the cycles.
Fast. break this cycle. We need healing. I feel like,
and that's another thing.
Yeah.
And when you say healing, that just triggers something, because if one person is healing and the other one isn't, it's still unequally yoked, it's unbalanced, and it's not gonna. It won't manifest into something positive.
So
balance
you're healing.
Balance. You growing. It's balance. It's balance. Yeah. But when you start like this and you don't know nothing, and then one person is growing, the other person's still right there. It is
so you healing from your dad issues, and he's still on this hand. He don't know how to be a father because his was around, but he ain't trying to even figure it out for real.
Exactly. Or better yet, you did what you thought should have been done, and then when things don't work the way you wanted to work, you do what your daddy did. Interesting. Okay, but anyway, moving on.
Yeah.
Let's go on to what you put inside.
I was gonna say also that spiritual prosperity, it just makes everything so simple. It creates a life of peace that will ease all pain.
Yeah.
Literally all pain. The peace that I have, I swear to God, it's okay, I'll be sad about something, but I don't dwell on it. I don't let it fester into a negative. I call it character building days. Like I don't say I'm having a bad day, or I call it a character building day, because I understand that listen, God got me. God got his arms wrapped around me no matter what. So even if I'm feeling a little sad, it's like, okay, God, I know you're here with me. I know you're going to make this better. I know better days are coming. I know better moments are coming. I trust in you. I know that you love me and you will never allow me to go through anything that I shouldn't be going through, and that I'm going through it for a reason. Mm-hmm. You understand what I'm saying? Like, oh, it just eases all pain. Like, I can't get over that part.
What you were saying, I want to comment on that. Mm-hmm. When you're going through that thing, and you having those moments, I call that, you call it character building, I call it human. I call it human. And then when you start to come out of that, I call it being. Because at that point you're entering into your spiritual state.
I like that.
You know what I'm saying? Because being is being present. That's entering into your spiritual state. So that's all. We all are human beings. It's just a matter of whether or not you want to become a being or just a human.
Right.
Hello. Like, I'm just saying.
Because we're not going to be human forever. Like I talked about before, we're going to transition at some point. Exactly. So you want to work on all of that so that when you transition over, you're at peace. You have a peace of mind. You're sane. That's another thing. Spiritual prosperity gives us that peace of mind to keep us sane, so that we're able to enjoy the joy that we can't even explain. Like, you can. You can literally, want to be happy, but I feel like happy isn't a thing. It's a way of life. Like, it's not something that, I'm sorry, I had this in my head, but then I needed to come out how I said it in my head. Like, happiness isn't something that, you it's not a destination. It's something that you can create. It's a way of life. Like, it's something that you literally create yourself. So you can't say, okay, until I get this, I'm not gonna be happy. Until I go here, I won't be happy. Until I succeed at this, I'm not gonna be happy. No, you have to be happy regardless of what's going on.
Happy is a state of being.
Hello. To sum it all up. Happiness is a state of being, because I swear it's
regardless to losing that car, regardless to losing your house,
and people
regardless
don't understand
to losing your job, regardless to him walking out on you, regardless to her cheating on you, regardless to what happiness is a state of being.
And it's and when God gives you that, and it's like, why she's so happy? She's been through this, and you would have thought she would have broke my.
They used to say that about me when I first got a divorce, like almost 7 years ago.
It's this joy you can't explain right here.
You just went through a divorce,
and
you don't seem like you're sad or anything.
Not.
I have peace. Okay. Peace that.
Woo. Ease that pain.
I couldn't even explain it, because God was resting on me. Like, when I say He was resting on me, He was resting on me. Out of all that I found out that I went through in those times, God was resting on me. And in those moments, that's when I learned that I really have a lot of self-control. I really do. And I have a choice to exercise it. And I choose today, that day, and all the days to come. I will exercise my self-control, because anytime you allow anybody or anything,
he who angers you controls you.
Thank you. Is that confusion?
I think so.
It sounds like it.
I can't
remember. That's
he who angers you controls you.
Facts. So therefore, I rather allow God within me to control me.
Okay,
and that's the choice I made.
And
that's the choice that I'm sticking to.
He's not controlling with anger.
Exactly.
He's not controlling with manipulation. Right.
He controls with love.
Right.
Like,
that's it.
Everything I do it out of love. I don't do anything with the expectation of something being returned.
You shouldn't.
I don't.
You really should.
You know, and you
that's
shouldn't. Exactly, you should never live your life like that. Because if you do, you have so much resentment and anger when things don't go the way you expect or think that it should.
Or you think somebody's gonna treat you how you treated them.
No.
Everybody got
That's why I try to stay neutral. I don't. Hey, I'm
cool. Listen,
I try my hardest. I really do. You know,
you have to. You know, because
unless I have to step in because it's dealing with me, then I have to, speak up.
Yeah.
Because I just didn't speak up, y'all. And I know most of y'all who have just recently met me, y'all think, oh, nah, you ain't shy. Da 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 da. Y'all, not no more.
It was a journey. Listen, for a fact.
I
didn't even know how to just stand up for myself at one point.
I was always told to shut up.
Listen.
As a child, I was always told to shut up. So therefore, as an adult in my younger years, there's a lot of things that I would not speak on or speak up about. Because I was always told to shut up. And so I think we did a segment on that. Like, stop telling your children certain things because it impacts them as an adult, as a teenager. Like when I had to stand in front of the class and talk, girl. And now look at me doing
right. Yo, when I say I had a public speaking class in college and I was telling people, could y'all please not look at me?
I used to be like that too.
And
now, I was the director on the mime team. So I had to make up the dances, and they would want to record me doing the dance. I'd be like, okay, y'all have to do it when I'm not looking. Don't tell me you about to do it. You just have to do it, okay? So don't, if you tell me to start over, I'm not going to be able to do it. But over time, I did get better with that too. But yeah.
Whew, because you just said that confidence. It's like, listen, I'm here to do what I do. I'm not letting nobody get my light. I'm not.
When you have confidence and you don't allow your light to be dim, that cancels out the self-sabotaging.
Hello.
It really does. When y'all really think about it, it really does. Because when you're confident, you're not gonna rush to judgment of something. You're not gonna speak on something that doesn't even exist or hasn't even been presented.
Right, overthinking.
Exactly. You're not
creating scenarios in your head.
And that's a lot of the reason why a situation that happened to me is the reasoning behind me reevaluating myself because I really thought I was divorced. I thought I was good. You know what I'm saying? I'm elevating. You know what I'm saying? I'm good. I'm doing really good. But then this particular situation took place. And when this situation took place, I realized at that point that I was self-sabotaging. And I'm like, well, why in the hell would I do that? Like, that don't even make sense. I had to go back to the drawing board.
Sometimes you got to.
But when I went back to that drawing board, it really allowed me to see and understand the truth of being present, being in the moment, and doing it intentionally. So every day, consciously, I am intentionally living in the moment. I'm intentionally being present, taking it all in as it comes. Not judging no aspect of it. Don't have an expectation of a thing for it. I try not to control it. Try not to try to control it. That's the word. I try not to try to control it because in reality, you can't control it. You can try, but you can't.
You really can't.
So I try not to try to control it. That's a double try.
For a fact.
But it's a beautiful thing when you learn. It's a beautiful thing when you not only learn, but you really work towards and work in making things better for you.
Yeah,
it's beautiful. It is. It's beautiful to be able to be present. It's beautiful to be in the moment of life because tomorrow is not promised. The next 20 minutes ain't promised. So it's beautiful. It's beautiful to just let people be who they are, and you be who you are.
And
And be true to yourself.
Be true to yourself and forgive yourself.
Definitely forgive yourself.
Because a lot of people, you can't heal, you can't elevate because you're so stuck in like, oh, I did this and I did
oh my God, like I said,
yourself up.
Yeah. Oh my God, I cannot believe I did that. Why did I even say that? That was so, oh my God, that was so stupid. Why did I even say that? Why?
Because you have to know that no matter what, God's love for us will never change. That's why I don't know if y'all have seen the movie The Shack. But I tell people to watch it all the time because the message in it is so great. It's like, okay, yes, his daughter was kidnapped and killed. And, God is like, well, I'm here for you. But God is also there and loving on that killer because it's like, y'all are all my children. And I forgive you no matter what. And I have to love you unconditionally no matter what. And to know and feel what that unconditional love is.
Like, I don't care what you've done. I don't care what you said. I don't care who it was done to, with, or whatever. I still love you. I love you.
I love
you. And there's absolutely
nothing you can do about it. And then when you come to a place like that, like, I know these people said these bad things about me. I know they called me this. I know they called me that. But God loves me regardless of it all. Like, just to get to this point in life, I swear, you guys, I don't know how much I can say it's amazing. But it's amazing.
The thing is, there's not enough times that you can possibly say that it's amazing. What has to take place is that people just have to do the work, and get to this place, to this place of spiritual prosperity.
I would
you
love
are
for you to
continuously thriving in your spirit, in your soul, and you just are you're at peace,
your mind,
with everything that's going on in your life, regardless of what it is. When you find peace with it, that's the most beautiful thing.
It makes it that much easier.
And that's how you know God is resting on you. That's how you know. Now, when you were talking about The Shack, I wanted to make mention of this. This is something that I firmly believe, and I think this with pretty much any movie, especially a spiritual movie.
Yeah.
Now, that's another reason why I said I want to see The Shack again. Because when I first saw The Shack, it was shortly after my divorce. And like I told somebody else, like, there are levels to spirituality. And, I think they call it spiritual awakening, that phrase. I'm not sure if y'all heard of that phrase. But I've had 3 levels of spiritual awakening. I can definitely say I've had 3 levels. And in my first level is when I saw The Shack. I didn't look at it again in my second level. But when you just brought that up, it made me think about it, because I believe that depending on where you are spiritually, you get a different meaning
every time.
A movie. Man. You see something totally different. You get a totally different understanding about that thing whenever you look at it. So I don't know where, what area you all are in as far as it relates to your spirituality. But definitely watch that movie. That's a really good movie. And I have to say, in that movie, the first time I watched it was the only time I've watched it thus far. I do plan to look at it again. What you said, God loves all of us, regardless to what we've done, regardless to what we said, regardless to what we didn't do. He loves us. Woo. And if we learn how to love one another to that degree, God is forgiving. That's all I can say. And God loves.
Yeah, I want to read this. This is like my synopsis of the movie.
Okay, y'all. FYI, she got a poem for every.
It's not a poem. Or a short story.
Okay, yeah, a poem or a short story. Yeah,
everything.
That's bad. Poem or a short story. She is a true writer.
Yeah, I'm about to start a blog.
All the time. Have you finished your book yet?
I'm in the process. I think what's holding me up is I'm focused on like the photo shoot, because it's like the book part is like it's gonna be wrapped up. is finished.
So the book is finished.
Yeah, I just got to put the final. Yeah, final.
Y'all heard it here first. The book is complete.
The book is complete. And I was just telling the guy yesterday open mic. Hopefully by the end of this year, I can have it on shelves. Want to go, go around to different cities or like a little book tour. I'm getting it together.
It sounds like we need to set a timeline.
Yeah, and that's exactly what's going on.
Okay,
that's exactly what's going on.
I want to see that.
Yeah. Coming soon. Release date on the way. Okay, so after watching the movie, I was inspired and felt as if a weight was lifted off my shoulders. I felt the message of the movie left my soul rejuvenated. Today was the first time I was finally able to say I forgive my brother's killers. Before today, I never thought I would be able to even think about doing something like that. I never imagined those words coming out of my mouth. I realized I was trying to make sense of my world based on an incomplete picture. I was constantly looking through the knothole of my pain. Instead, I disowned and was not trusting God. This movie was so powerful, and I learned and grew in so many ways that I never thought I would after watching it. I learned that if pain is left unresolved, we can forget what we were created for. Mm-hmm. I always knew the importance of forgiveness, but I learned how heavy the burden of not forgiving could be. I always knew that we should never judge others because we aren't perfect. But yet, and still, I judge others, especially murderers. I now have a deeper understanding about why I shouldn't be passing judgment amongst others. When we judge and don't forgive the people who have wronged us, we begin to drown in our sorrow. In this universe, evil has snuck its way in, but God still loves us all, no matter how big or how small the sin is that we commit. I was able to change my opinion about how to determine what's good or evil. When learning that the sap from a twig can kill you, but when combined with the nectar of a flower, it contains healing properties. It's like, you take it. Everything is hand in hand. Everything is that blew my mind. Jesus refuses to inflict pain on the next because we are all his children, and he wants to redeem us all. I realized how hard I was on others as well as God, and I'm grateful to have learned not to judge anyone and to truly forgive the people who have wronged me. After saying and truly meaning that I forgive these people that caused me pain, the pain was no longer devouring me, robbing me of my joy, or crippling my capacity to love. Whew. Listen, I want to go deep on that after rereading that. I got to watch the movie again because, y'all, when I say it's so many gems
so
in this movie, I dated it. December 14, 2021. It's now 2023, so it's like the little upgrade.
Yeah, like I said, every time you go to another level,
it's time.
You have to just go back and take a look at different things.
Man,
not just movies, but even your life. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to reflect. So for those of you who know, like my thing is reflect.
Listen,
and I'm a person that does that, and I don't pass judgment on other people. I always look at myself in the role that I play or have played.
Hello.
Always.
Hello. Don't
if
drown in
we all learn how to do that, we won't try to. We would not be able to find room to find fault in anybody else. In reality,
nobody's perfect.
Look at what you did. Look at the role you played. Interesting.
Yeah. This is good.
So yeah. So spiritual prosperity, like it's something that we all can accomplish and have. It's within your reach. Yeah. All you have to do is reach for it. Yeah. All you have to do is just reach for it.
That's it.
It's there. It's just waiting on you. Just like God said, knock and the door will be open. Seek and you shall find. It's there. Just waiting on you. All right?
Yeah.
All right, so that concludes this particular segment. We thank you all for joining us. Yes. And please make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe, follow, tag a friend. And please join us sometime. And we definitely are here for a good conversation. We can talk all day. Yeah, we really can. We are already knocking on 45 minutes and didn't realize it's already. Oh, wow. Yeah, sometimes we come over here and be like, is we gonna make it to 30 minutes? We don't know. Honestly, y'all, we never really know. We just know what the topic is going to be, but exactly what's gonna come out of our mouths, we don't know until we just go live. So you know why? Because God truly flows through us. It's truly organic. It's truly authentic. So you all are really getting an opportunity to experience us even in our mess ups of pronunciations and the bloopers of the cameras not working and falling and all those kinds of things. So this is raw footage all the way. So as you all know, we go live every Monday. We try to aim for 7 o'clock. Sometimes we have a mishap. And it may be a little later than 7, but we aim for 7 o'clock on Monday evenings, and we will welcome you all to join us. Not just join us and just view us, but join us. Request to be a guest. Yes. You know, we would love to have you. Even the comments. I love how the comments. Oh yeah, we definitely love the comments. Yeah, we definitely love the comments. And if you got a topic that you want us to talk about, or a question that you may have, and we might have the answer to, we don't, we will find it for you. We will. Just please make the comment, write the question, however you see fit, however you choose. And again, we go live, so you can join us at any point in time. Just request. And remember, we love you, and so does God. Definitely, yeah. So thank you all. We'll see you all next week. Bye. I keep doing it.